What is the difference between KOMA Taekwondo and all of the other sports and activities that are offered out there? Well, hopefully I can bring you a unique perspective on this question we hear a lot of. First and foremost, let's talk about what is a sport. In my opinion, a sport revolves around playing a game that you want to win. And you can win by beating another person or beating the other team. So you either score more points or you just do something that makes you the winner of the game. So for example, in soccer, you attend practice, you play together as a team, so then hopefully you can beat the other team. This applies to basketball and pretty much any other sport. And of course, there are sports out there that are not necessarily revolving around playing a game, such as yoga, hiking, or even mountain climbing. But this is really a question about those traditional mainstream sports that are offered everywhere. And if you're a parent, you might feel confused on, should I enroll my child in KOMA or should I do soccer this season? Well, the biggest difference I want you to really think about is KOMA is not about planning, preparing, or practicing for a game or even a competition. It is not about that. It is purely about the individual, self-development, and helping build character for a stronger future. And we do this in various ways, but that is the one basic point I want you to know is KOMA Taekwondo is not about playing a game. Another notable difference between KOMA Taekwondo and some of the other activities and sports offered out there is KOMA Taekwondo is all year round. Unlike basketball, which might start in January, and then by the end of March, the season is over, the child takes a break, maybe transitions to a different sport or waits for the next season. KOMA Taekwondo is offered all year round. Why is this a positive thing? Well, when you are immersing your child in a culture that revolves around things like discipline, focus, self-control, self-confidence, courage, grit, and all those other character traits that we know that leads to success later in life, that child is going to be more likely to adapt those character traits. So the longer they're in that culture, the more likely they will become like that culture. But when the child is constantly taking breaks and we don't know if the culture is going to be consistent from sport to sport to sport, that can be an unpredictable experience. Another difference to consider is the consistency in leadership. So when a sport changes, that usually means there's a change in leadership. That coach changes, a different dad might step in and start coaching. That dad might do a great job, but is that dad gaining training to be a coach? And even if you're playing or your child is playing in a premier league, are they training that coach on how to connect with children, especially those who misbehave, who are struggling with confidence, and just have mental barriers that they need a guide to help them overcome? But when the leadership changes consistently, probably not going to see that. But I can tell you that all of our instructors are very much trained and very consistent. The expectations are consistent and the delivery is consistent. And most importantly, the connection between the instructor and the student is consistent. And the last difference between KOMA and some of the other activities out there is the big picture. So for example, I used to love playing basketball as a child. Honestly, I played probably every sport you can think of. And of course, I had dreams and aspirations to be the next Asian Michael Jordan. As you can see, that has not turned out. Now, am I saying that no children should be playing sports because there's no future in it? Absolutely not. I definitely think there are huge benefits to playing sports, such as learning how to play on a team, really just learning the basics of a sport. So in the future, if they're in a company and they do like a team softball league, you'd want your child to at least know the rules of the game so they don't look silly out there. But overall, why not have your child part of something that actually has a future to it? Well, let me explain. Our goal with every single one of our students is to help them become leaders, not only in life, but also at KOMA. This means that we're training them to become assistant instructors in the class. This is incredible for them because it's a great experience on how to be an effective leader and to get over their anxieties of speaking in front of others. Even adults nowadays struggle with this. And then after they are trained to become an assistant instructor, the goal is they can lead their own class. Think about this. We have sometimes 14-year-olds who can lead a 45-minute class from start to finish. Now, of course, there's a lot of training that goes into it, but I can tell you right now, these 14, 15, and 16-year-olds really are incredible instructors. Your child could be one of those incredible instructors. It does take time, but know there is an end goal for us. And even after they become an instructor, they can make this a career. I've had a couple of our previous students, or what we call alumni, come back after college, and they end up working here full time. So what is the point of the last difference? Well, there is an end goal that your child can take advantage of if they want to. And let's say your child does not want to ever assist a class, lead a class, or even work at KOMA. That's perfectly fine because the leadership skills, the character traits that they take away from here is going to help them tremendously in their future jobs or aspirations. That is one thing I really get excited about here is we really are building the future with our 4-year-olds. And we establish these incredible relationships with all of our students because it is all year round and all of our instructors are trained to really know how to connect with those students and help them become the people they were created to be. Anyways, thank you for your time. I hope that helps. I'll see you at the next one.